All right, I got a question for you people. It's a serious question, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's a serious question. I really want to have this conversation, and I want it to be as civil as possible. Let's just get into it. What is wrong with a lot of Android fans? Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. If you would like to come back again and get more commentary and Apple and Android tech stuff as well as audio tech stuff, then this is the place to be. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, so when there are new videos, then you can check them out. PainfullyHonestTech.com. Go over there to sign up for my mostly weekly newsletter, and follow me on the social medias that are right there. Yeah, there they are. Follow me on the social medias and come and join the wizard squad, the wizard land. Anyway, what is wrong with a lot of Android fans? Not all Android fans, but a lot of Android fans. I've noticed this. Now, I cover Android phones and I cover Apple products, and I've noticed that there's a difference between the two communities. And maybe there's a difference because, Apple is Apple. Maybe from the outside looking in, it seems like has somewhat of a superiority complex or something like that. When it comes to Android fans, Android has tons and tons of fantastic devices. The Z Fold 3, the S21 Ultra, the LG phones of days gone by. There's just, and beyond North America, where we don't get all of the other cool stuff, there's a lot of cool stuff. But the people who are Android fans, or at least the ones who get into these kinds of conversations, often come off sounding like the underappreciated, little considered redheaded stepchild of techdom. They always seem to get mad at the fact that Apple gets all the attention, but Android seems to do all the innovating. I mean, the word innovation is another thing that is worth talking about. And just to go into it very briefly, the word innovation is thrown around a lot. And the problem with the way that the word innovation is used in tech is that innovation is not a new feature, okay? Innovation is not a new feature, especially if that new feature has existed elsewhere before and you sort of repatriate it to your device. Innovation is where you take something and you fundamentally change the way it is, the way it works, and bring it to a new place, a paradigm shift, if you will. But a lot of times when we talk about innovation, now the perfect example of this is the 120 hertz refresh rate screen. Android fans have discussed the fact that Apple phones did not have 120 hertz screens for the longest time. Up until just a month ago when the iPhone 13 came out, they didn't have 120 hertz screens. Now, the 120 hertz screens that Apple has put on these new phones are really, really good, and they don't impact the battery life the way early 120 hertz screens did, and they are just generally very, very good at what they're doing. Now, they had ProMotion, which is what they're calling it. They had ProMotion on iPad Pros, and so they kind of got their feet wet there. They started to figure it out there, and now they've brought ProMotion to the iPhone, and it's working really well. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with Android. Like, Apple didn't steal 120 hertz from Android phones. 120 hertz screens have existed for a long time in televisions and other kinds of things. I mean, gaming monitors. The first phone that actually featured a 120 hertz screen in 2017 was the much maligned, but actually really, really good Razr phone. Razr phone 2 was even better. The Razr phone was the first phone to put a 120 hertz screen into their phone. Now, why did they do it? Because that phone was geared toward the gamer, and the gamer wanted to have that higher refresh rate. Higher refresh rate in games means that your response time and the visuals can be a little bit better in those games. So Razer brought 120 hertz to the Android phone, and over the past several years, more and more Android manufacturers have brought 120 hertz screens to the market. Now, lots of people like to point out, Android fans like to do this too. They like to point out the fact that that Samsung makes the screens for Apple. LG also makes screens for Apple. LG and Samsung are the two largest manufacturers of OLED screens in the world, and so therefore they make screens for a lot of people. Apple tunes the screens so that they look the way that Apple wants them to in terms of colors. And the fact that Samsung provides the screen is not in any way a mark of superiority for Samsung. Apple is not a wholesale manufacturer of parts the way that Samsung is. Samsung's business is largely on the opposite end. It's not customer facing. It's providing parts on the back end to people for things that Samsung makes, like screens. So the fact that the iPhone doesn't have its own Apple screen, and in fact they buy the screens from Samsung, has nothing to do with Samsung's superiority whatsoever. I mean, if it did, then LG would be still making smartphones, because they would be among the best in the world too, because they also make screens. So this is my point, and I'm going to try and keep this video to a minimum. My point is that oftentimes when I have a conversation or I get comments on YouTube or something comes up on Twitter, there is this sense that Android fans are mad at Apple. And I understand that, we're tribal in nature, and that we want to band together and, be on a team and to fight the other team. And Apple has been very successful, and so maybe they're the top dogs and Android folks are maybe, sort of gunning for them. I understand the human nature of it. We are very tribal people. It used to be a way to protect ourselves from predators, and now it's just a way to root for sports teams and seemingly group around brands and such in a way that doesn't make a ton of sense if you think about it. I want to say this. Now, I lean toward, as most people know who watch this channel, for my personal use, I lean toward using an iPhone. But I always have an Android phone that I'm using. In fact, right now, I'm still using the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and I'm still enjoying it a ton. And actually, I seem to be reaching for that just because the screen is larger, more so than I'm reaching for this. But that doesn't mean that, since I use Apple products more often than Android products, that doesn't mean that I don't think that Android products are great. I think that Android products are different than Apple products, and I think the iPhone is different than Android phones, and I think that the iPhone does a better job in a lot of ways. As I said in a video that I'll link down in the description below, I think that iPhones are superior at providing an overall customer experience when it comes to integration of things into your life. That's what Apple's really good at. That doesn't mean the iPhone is better. That doesn't mean that it just means that the way that Apple does its business, the way that Apple focuses its products, is toward the consumer, and they have sort of put together an entire system that they believe makes the experience better for their consumers. Whereas Android is sort of more like the PC-minded people who like to do things for themselves, who like to tinker, who like to put things together. So when I say what is wrong with Android fans, I'm really just asking the question, why is it that there seems to be such hostility toward Apple when both Android manufacturers and Apple make really great products that a lot of the customers really enjoy? And we should be really excited about the time that the place that we live in when it comes to the tech that's offered to us at this moment. I want to encourage anybody who is angry at this video or anybody who gets angry at Apple to think about how they could allow themselves to enjoy their own tech more. Apple is just another way of doing it. And if you are not an Apple person, then don't spend so much time worrying about it. Apple is not the enemy of Android. Apple is a competitor, perhaps, but you've made your choice if you're carrying an Android phone and not an iPhone. Don't worry about whether or not Apple is getting all the credit for the features that you believe Android created. In many cases, it didn't, but if you believe that, okay, don't get so mad about the fact that Apple seems to get, in your mind, the credit when in reality, Apple just does their business a different way. Slow and steady wins the race. Apple doesn't want to do anything until they really feel like they've got the thing nailed down. Android is about pushing the limits of what the technology can do and adjusting from there. I like to poke the bear when it comes to tech, but I don't think it's necessary for us to just continue to backbite and infight and all of this other stuff when we have some pretty cool technology that we can all hang out and enjoy. That's what I've got to say today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This has been Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts, talking about things that are just on my mind. I don't know if I'm even going to edit this. I might just put it up on the YouTubes. But anyway, until the next time, I am out.